So today we are going to be doing a lactic acid set. We're going to be doing 4 rounds of 350s. What stroke I'm going to be doing, that is up to me to decide. But the rest of my team did it yesterday. I'm doing it today. Let's get going. Here we are. We're gonna get going. This is gonna be fun, but also very painful. See you at the pull deck. Out here on speaker, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Feeling really warm. Decided not to bring my parka out here. And we're about to get in. Sun's right out here, so yeah. Teammates over there. Yep, here's the rest of the team.
Woo!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Today we're going to be doing yesterday's sets, so let's get going.
Let's get it, bro.
So just finished warming up. We are going to start the main set soon, and it's going to be a bunch of rounds of 350s. This is going to be fun, and yeah. Oh, we're going to be starting in a minute. Gonna do our first set 350s and on 3 minutes. Post practice feeling. We are feeling like really exhausted, I'll say.
We're feeling good though.
Yep.
Feeling really good.
I will say I got killed, especially by the end. Cause I mean, this is what happens when you decide you're gonna do a set all fly, but it's whatever. We still managed to go under 30 for more than half of this set, so well, that's a win. What happens at the end, we don't talk about it, but it's fine. So you just got to see me the vlog of me and probably some of my teammates like John, Sophie, and Ben. But now we're going to be talking about what I did. So on Saturday I did my test set 1250s, but then 2 days before I also did a set, and it was a very different kind of set, 10 ones on a 130 best average. So I'm going to talk to you about how I did overall. So on Saturday, so we'll start with Saturday because you're probably more interested. So the idea of the set was you did 350s. So I'll pull it up right now. The idea is that you would do 350s on a 3 and then 250s, like DPS on a minute and an extra minute rest. I feel like, I mean, you could probably use this DPS kind of, I'll say, as a cooldown. I don't know if that was the exact intent, but that's kind of what I did. Then you got an extra minute of rest. And then you would repeat that, but the interval would get faster. You do on 2 minutes, and then 130, and then 115. Extra 2 minutes and 50 max speed. Well, I myself didn't really do that, but the idea is that you would still try to hold your 100 back end pace, which is kind of difficult by the end, and you can see this comment right there. I myself personally did not hold my 100 back pace after the second round, and that is just kind of expected because lactic acid starts building in. So let's go over my times. So the first round of 350s, really smooth. I myself really felt like I was flying through, probably going like 100 backends pace, probably even faster. I was going like 28 though for all 3 of them, and with a time of like a 55, this is not bad. This is pretty good for me. And then we did 350s at the 2 minutes. I was starting to hurt, but I still managed to keep everything. I think I started out with 28s and I still kept the last one under 30 with a 29. So we got through 650s, all of them under 30, which is pretty good because I usually back end right around 29 low. So that's all pretty damn good. And then the next round, this is when things start to hurt. I still managed to swim the first 50 in 29, but by the end, I'm just feeling absolutely miserable, and I increased, and my time goes up to like a 31, which is kind of bad. And then the last round, I was just fighting tooth and nail. By the way, I did this set all butterfly, so my form really collapsed by this round. I think I literally went like a 32 on that last 50 because I was just absolutely dead. And then my stroke counts overall, like I'll say, typically I aim for 5 kicks underwater and maybe like 8 strokes. But today I was going like 9 strokes because I just decided to push it and perhaps see if I can maybe even go with 27.
Because yeah, I would love to go 27, since that means I could probably go even faster than a 55 in a one fly. So that's it for my lactic acid set I did on Saturday on my own. Now we're going into the test set. So the test set, the idea of it is you do 10 ones on like a 130. Maybe you can do it faster if you're like Joaquin or someone. But I personally did it on 130. But we just all did it on 130. And you wanted to go fast while still maintaining a solid pace throughout. And as you can see, I started out really like if you look at my teammates, like they generally started out pretty fast, and then they kind of ascended as the set went on. I myself kind of did the opposite. I started out pretty conservatively, which I'm not exactly the most sure if you should be doing that in this kind of set. But I started out conservatively, and then I actually got a little faster throughout. I dropped down here, and then on the last one, I just decided to bang it. My goggles got a little loose, but I just was just like I'm just gonna go sprint this out of my mind. We went a 64 or 104, which I'll say is pretty good at the end of a set like this. Obviously, I'd say that people who write their averages on this kind of set are probably like people who routinely go to practice or are like actually good at an aerobic set, which is not quite me. But I'll say I was still pretty satisfied because this was a I'll say this is the first time I think I've held under like 110 throughout this kind of set. Like normally, even back when I was like training 5 times a week, I was not holding 110 or more. Probably because I was tired, but this time we actually managed to hold under one. If you notice, I was under 70 seconds or minute 10 the entire time, which is really good for me. Perhaps I will continue, to get faster, try to start going from like holding 68 and 69 down to like probably 65. I've been pretty happy about myself, especially considering that I'm not like the biggest aerobic swimmer. Yeah, so I'm honestly like, even though I do swim two fly and probably two IM as well, I'm not exactly the most like what you would call a distance swimmer. And because of that, I wouldn't say it's like the most important thing. It's nice to have endurance, especially for a two fly, because you're gonna need that to survive your race. But you probably need as much speed work as possible because the 200 is not a distance race, right? 200 is like almost a sprint, I'll say. It's like a long sprint, you could think of it. So that's kind of it for my talk about how this week's gone. Maybe later on when we have like a swim meet or we have a social or any of that, gonna create another vlog. But I hope you enjoy this and stay tuned. See you next time.